Good afternoon, I'm Shawn Yao and this is One News Now. Schools across the country have reopened just in time for World Teachers' Day. But several educators admit that the distance learning setup may take a lot of getting used to. Marian Enriquez has the story.
57-year-old public school teacher Grace Nahe admits not being techie makes the shift to distance learning more challenging for her. On the first day of classes, she virtually met with parents of her advisory class. She also reviewed her students of their past lessons. But instead of working from home, she decided to come at P. Guevara Elementary School in Manila.
Ako lang mag-isa sa room ko, ang kapitbahay may asong napakalakas. At may mga sasakyan, may kuliglig, minsan sumisigaw agad ang mga kapitbahay.
She started working inside a classroom but had to transfer to the school lobby due to poor signal. She used Facebook Messenger to chat with parents and Google Meet for video conferencing. Only 7 sets of parents and students out of 41 total enrollees were able to attend the online orientation.
Konti pa lang kasi nadidismiss daw. Nadidismiss yung nagjo-join. Siguro nga dahil mahina ang signal.
Teacher Grace shared that she felt overwhelmed and emotional at the same time as classes have finally opened.
Kaya mabuti na lang at may mga younger teachers na very willing naman silang magturo.
Meanwhile, 56-year-old MAPE teacher Victoria Salvania said 35 out of her 40 students were present in the online meeting. She needed to use 2 devices, 1 laptop for video and a cell phone for her audio.
Kasi nga, dahil nga siguro sa hindi maganda yung connection sa laptop, so naisipan ko na gamitin ang aking cellphone.
Internet was also a problem for practical arts teacher Nestor Reyes, who chose to work from home. He was supposed to orient 25 students earlier today, but only 10 were present in the Google Meet.
Hindi po makasali, sir.
Hindi makasali. Bakit kaya? Wala silang access?
Hindi po yata.
Teacher Nestor admitted that teaching will be more challenging now as he has to adjust hands-on classes like drafting for the virtual platform.
Dito sa Google Classroom, sa online mode of learning, ay challenge talaga kung paano mag-hands-on activity.
Teachers Nestor, Victoria, and Grace said Facebook Messenger greatly helped them in communicating with the students and their parents. But conducting online video classes is still a huge problem. For now, they will send soft copies of modules to students who still don't have their printed learning materials. For News 5, Marian Enriquez, we are One News.
The Education Department is optimistic that more students will enroll this school year, even as classes have already resumed today. DepEd Secretary Leonor Briones says nearly 24.7 million students have enrolled so far. Almost 400,000 of those enrolled are students who transferred from private schools. But the DepEd hopes that more students will go back to school as the economy slowly reopens. Enrollment is open until November 21. But the DepEd advises students to not wait that long.
Na-exceed na natin yung ating target para sa mga public school learners. Ang ating hinahabol ngayon ay yung galing sa private schools at sa alternative learning systems.
And parents are also going through difficulties as they assume bigger roles in their children's learning process. Let's take a quick look at their situation in this report by Camille Samonte.
Lola Clarita usually gets busy cooking for her small eatery as early as 5 in the morning. But it will be different now as she has to do this while assisting her 4 grandchildren in their online classes. 2 of them are in elementary, while the other 2 are already junior high school students.
Mahirap kasi nag-online sila. Tapos, ilan sila? 4. Ako nag-ano din ako, tumutulong sa anak ko dahil mga anak nga. Mahirap talaga yung online ngayon. Kaya bahala na ako ano naman sila eh. Kaya lang ako di ako marunong mag-ano ng cellphone.
With this, Lola Clarita shared that she can no longer help them in doing their homeworks.
pagod na. Pagod na kasi mula madaling araw eh. Kaya hindi ako gaano makaano sa kanila. Sinusuanuhan ko na lang sila sa pagkain.
Meanwhile, her grandchildren said they still prefer face-to-face classes.
Pag face-to-face po kasi mas madali, mas madali po yung discuss, tsaka di po gaano katagal. Ngayon po rin kasi nahihirapan po rin kasi yung kaklasmate, yung mga iba pong kaklasmate ko kasi isa lang po yung gadget.
Rico and Maricel are facing the same problem. They said it is difficult to balance their time as they have to sell their produce while guiding their 2 children. Both of them require much attention as they are still in elementary.
Mahirap sa ngayon dahil nagtitinda kami ngayon para hati yung oras namin. Yung ba, mga anak namin, online lang. Mahirap online, walang matutunan yung mga bata.
Naglalako pa ako ng gulay. Medyo hindi ko sila napupukusan po ngayon. Hindi tulad po nung nasa loob po sila ng school.
The local government of Manila has distributed free tablets to public students. But the problem is the lack of internet connection in some areas.
Nahirapan rin po kami sa signal. Wala rin po kasi kaming wifi. Sila papa po nagtitinda lang. Hindi po kami makapag-focus ng online class.
Due to the challenges, Maricel admitted that they have already thought of dropping out their children from school. Over the weekend, Education Undersecretary Tonicito Umali reminded the parents that they are only meant to guide students in answering the modules. For News 5, Camille Samonte, we are One News.
We're going to pause for a quick break, but we will be back with more stories after that. Stay with us. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Shawnee Yao. Distance learning poses more challenges to learners with special education needs. Parents and teachers are urged to develop stronger collaborations to help children cope. JC Cosico has the story.
As early as 6:30 a.m., teacher Rochelle Yu has already finished her setup for her virtual classes today. More than an hour later, she stood up for the virtual flag ceremony with her students who have special needs. They were accompanied by their parents. Their daily exercises were also made virtual. Teacher Rochelle has been teaching learners with special needs for 2 years now. She admits doing it amid the COVID-19 pandemic is all the more challenging. When classes were about to start, some of her students started crying.
Why, Simon? Bahay muna. Nandito si teacher, oh. Yes, it's closed. Simon? Simon? Hi, Simon. Why are you crying? Why are you crying? Just smile?
Gusto niya magsuot ng sapato.
Gaya kanina, di ba, umiiyak na yung bata, parang hindi ko alam kung paano ko siya patatahanin, naaluin. So, kailangan parang hindi ma-board yung bata. Kailangan agad ma-click mo agad kung ano yung mga ano.
Rochelle says some skills are difficult to teach online, including writing.
Kasi sa amin pa lang, sa face-to-face, talagang kailangan hawakan namin yung mga bata, yung kamay, kahit kung ano, iisa-isahin namin sila. Para lang ma-trace nila yung ano, yung bawat letter or shapes, ganun. This time, ewan ko kung ano, sa mga magulang ngayon.
Parents are urged to exert extra patience towards their children.
Kaya lagi namin sinasabi sa mga magulang na kayo talaga ngayon. So kung ano yung tiyaga namin, dapat ganun din po sila. Kung mga ibang regular mga pupils, mahirap ng turuan, di ba? What more pa sila?
Brenda Sullivan has a child with Down syndrome. She admits there are times that her child is difficult to please.
Sabi mo, right. Sabi mo, you say right. Moody kasi sila eh. Kaya siguro ganun.
Paano moody?
Pag gusto nila gumawa, gagawa sila. Pag gusto nila magsalita, magsasalita.
Adding to her woes is her lack of expertise in using gadgets. Their internet connection at home is also slow, but Brenda is up for the challenge.
Kailangan natin gawin yun para sa mga anak natin. Kasi wala namang ibang gagawa, kundi yung mga magulang din.
Child rights organization Save the Children Philippines says distance learning has a big effect on learners with disabilities. That's why they underscore the importance of parents' involvement in their children's learning process.
May hindi nakikita, kumbaga may hindi nasusubaybayan yung mga guro, no, at gayon din yung mga magulang. Kailangan sila magsanib pwersa at mag-complement ng mga strengths at ang areas of collaboration.
The Education Department for its part says they have coordinated with schools to limit the size of the class. This will allow teachers to focus on the specific needs of learners with disabilities. For News 5, JC Cosico, VR1 News.
The Interior Department is working around the clock to reach its target number of contact tracers nationwide this month. To give us the details, Greg Gregorio joins us live from Mandaluyong. Greg, what is the progress of the DILG on contact tracing?
Sean, the Interior Department admitted that the local government units have not met the Magalong formula of 1:37 case to close contact ratio. That's why they're working double time to intensify their contact tracing efforts. The DILG has achieved more than 20% of their target to hire 50,000 individuals as contact tracers. Each worker will receive a compensation equivalent to salary grade 9 or 18,763 pesos to 19,890 pesos. Interior Undersecretary Jonathan Malaya expressed confidence that they will achieve the Magalong formula once hiring is completed this October. He adds that mechanisms are in place to ensure the authenticity of all contact tracers. In today's briefing, Health Undersecretary Maria Rosario Vergere emphasized that the robust contact tracing helps them respond to areas with increasing number of cases. Vergere also noted that apart from contact tracers, the Barangay Health Emergency Response Team, or BERTs, are also important in ensuring that the government's pandemic response is felt down to the barangay level. Some of the birds also serve as qualified contact tracers. But the DILG revealed that not all regions have reported 100% activation of birds. According to the DILG's August data, there are already 39,347 birds in the country. However, regions like Barm, Caraga, and Region 3 have yet to report 100%, and Mimaropa has only reported 53%. Sean, on the number of birds, Undersecretary Malaya said they would have to get updated reports from local government units, especially those from island provinces. Meanwhile, the Department of Health reported that the clinical trial for the possible use of Avigan as COVID-19 treatment in the country may be started this week. Sean?
Right, thank you very much for that update. Greg Gregorio joining us live from Mandaluyong City. The Health Department reports nearly 2,300 new COVID-19 infections. This Monday figure brought the country's total caseload to more than 324,000. Of this number, 45,700 are active. 60 more people died of the virus in the last 24 hours, pushing the death toll to 5,800. We have some good news though. 80 COVID patients have gotten better from the disease. Recoveries currently stand at 273,000. And TV5 and Signal TV's 1PH unveil a new roster of programs and personalities. Among the stars set to dominate the free TV are Piola Pascual and Catriona Gray, who will host the Sunday noontime variety show. The rebranded Rated Corina will also go on air, with Corina Sanchez as the host. Other personalities in the lineup include Maha Salvador, Billy Crawford, and the returning kapatid Alex Gonzaga, among others. Meanwhile, 1PH has launched a new radio show featuring Ted Filon and DJ Chacha. Jay Tarok has also joined its news and public service as the new host of One Balita Pilipinas. In addition, the channel announced a primetime newscast called Frontline Pilipinas to be hosted by multi-awarded anchors. You can now enjoy the new way of learning at home because DepEd TV is now available for free for all Signal and satellite subscribers. Tune in to channel 149 for Signal and channel 189 for satellite. And for more updates, follow News 5, The Philippine Star, and Business World online. Visit our website, onenews.ph, for more in-depth analysis. You can also catch One News on the Signal Play app. Register for a free account now at www.signalplay.com and stream One News live anytime, anywhere. I'm Sean Yao. We are One News.